Tio Hardaman is due back in court tomorrow. He was arrested Friday after his wife says he punched and kicked her during an argument.
He's the face of Ceasefire. He's the face of the community. Without Mr. Tio, you wouldn't have no ceasefire.
Right.
Says he believes he will be exonerated from charges that he beat his wife and left her with a swollen lip, bruises.
He's been the face of Ceasefire. He has been the energy behind Ceasefire. He has been the one that has built Ceasefire and made it what it is.
Tonight, former Ceasefire director Tio Hardaman and his wife talk about the night he was arrested for allegedly beating her, why she dropped the charges, and the doubters.
The real deal of what Tio Hardaman is about, he loves his wife. She loves him dearly. But at the end of the day, man, when we've gotten the shootings reduced by 85% in this fucking town, and it was at the leadership of Tio Hardaman, I wouldn't give a fuck if whatever you decide to do.
You know, your wife is here, and she's standing with you. I think the community is standing with you.
I'm a very legitimate individual, and I refuse to allow one bad situation to define my entire body of work. So I don't know exactly what's going on with it. This is something I can't fix this. You know, I don't know how to fix this problem here, but I kind of see what the problem may be though. Seems like one of these hinges and got kind of off base. I'm just taking it one day at a time, but it's not easy. It's not one thing, it's another. It's hard to really say what I do every day because it varies. But I tell you this, I'm not stressed out. That's important. I'm grateful that I was able to save a little money over the years, because if I hadn't saved a little money, I'd be really stressed out. So I have a little comfort with the fact that I can still pay my mortgage and I can still, take care of my business every day without being so caught up. Look here, I'm over at the building now. I don't feel like paying nobody to cut this grass anymore because money's not like it used to be. Tio the handyman, Hardaman, is on unemployment, and then they may deny my unemployment until September because of some other factors, and now I'm stuck over here with a lawnmower that's half working, and I got all this grass to cut. So I will talk to you a little bit later. Just want to call you and give you an update on what's happening with me today, all right? You take care, you have a nice day. Okay. All right. I lost a job paying $118,000 a year. I was in line to get a $20,000 raise, which would have been $138,000 a year. You think I was going to just blow that? God actually freed me from that job because of all the stress. Because if I did not leave the job, what would have happened eventually, something would have really blew up.
That's why you're supposed to have a plan B and a plan C, and sometimes a plan D, because they may let you go. Everything happens for a reason, and it was just time for him to move on.
So now, are you saying those allegations were not true?
No, I'm not saying they're true or not true. Either way.
Well, how did you get those bruises and scratches then, if your husband didn't do it?
I can't talk about it.
Hardaman says she dropped the charges against her husband because the stress of the legal proceedings was just too much.
My wife was admitted here in Elmhurst Memorial Hospital last night, and I spent the night with her last night, and I just wanted to stay by her side. Her high blood pressure was extremely, it was bothering her a lot, so they decided to keep her in the hospital. She was shortness of breath, and she had some dizzy spells.
2011, I had my first stroke, and then in 2012, I had a heart attack, and then this is 2013, I had another mini stroke.
What about right now? How you feeling?
He's been very supportive, and he's been there and really helping me through this, because I'm so used to being so independent and so strong, and now I'm so weak because I have no strength. And so he, like, I can't even open up a bottle of water these days because I just don't have the strength to do it. But so he's been there just to open up a bottle of water. He's been there to pick me up from work. Because I had a couple of fainting episodes at work. So he's been coming downtown to pick me up, and what was it, 2 weeks ago he picked me up and I had to be hospitalized again. But he's been there.
You can do it.
Very supportive through all of this.
One more time around.
One more time around, and that's it.
That's it.
Okay. Well, at least you're doing this, and you seem to be working out a little bit better here.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll see what happens. We have our ups and downs like most couples still today, because I'm a straightforward individual, and my wife, she's no punk.
What started bothering me is the cell phones that kept ringing.
We have struggles about T.O. being on the cell phone.
His job had got to be real demanding a lot of his time. And so when they issued him the cell phone, I'm like, oh, we in trouble now.
My wife, she'll tell you in a heartbeat, when I'm on the phone, I kind of like tone her out, so to speak. Tune her out, really, excuse me.
He ended up with 2 cell phones, his personal cell phone and the job cell phone.
Hey, I need you at my rally tomorrow. Just got to keep myself, spiritual and keep stress out of my life, man. God bless you, bro. If I'm talking to my wife right now and we having a candid conversation about something, I get a phone call comes in, I take the call, and next thing I forget about everything we talked about. I listen to you, bro.
We would get a phone call at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning.
When my wife talks to me about certain things, I get mad. Like you tell me, I'm a grown man, you can't tell me when to get on the phone. I'm not going with that.
After the phone call, we got at 3 in the morning, and the person said, someone's trying to kick in my door. And it was 3 in the morning, and I looked at him, and he's on the phone, and he said, somebody's trying to kick in your door. And I looked at him, and I guess the look on my face made him respond, well, you need to call the police because I'm asleep.
She's right.
But that was the end of us having our phones on after 10 o'clock. That was the end of home phones being on, the end of cell phones being on after 10 o'clock at night. I had to draw the line somewhere.
Things are much better now, much more improved, put it like that, because before that point, I was just, I'm not gonna say I was a loose cannon, but I was just taking care of a lot of business. And I felt in my mind, as long as I'm making money, paying the rent, taking care of the household, everybody should be happy. But that doesn't work for everybody. You have to, romance was lacking. A lot of like going out of town was lacking. I rarely took a vacation. So now God has given me the opportunity to reflect on what I need to reflect on. And that's my health, number one, my peace of mind, and my wife's health and her peace of mind. And then we can tackle the world together. I got to get my career back on track. I refuse to isolate myself. I'm trying to make a statement right now. I'm in this race to help my people. Period. I want to show people that you can fall down and get right back up. So look here, everybody, we're going to circle in prayer right before I do the press conference, okay?
Lord, right now we come on behalf of Brother Hardaman. We ask you if you would just be with him on today. Lord, that you would give him the strength and the wisdom of words to say. And we pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Brother Pastor. Okay, good enough.
Bless you, man.
And let's give everybody a hand for coming out for me this afternoon. And thank you. I know people looking at me now saying, well, you know, this guy, who do you think he is? I'm T.O. Hardaman, I'm running for governor. That's it, okay? And that's it. I can't go into this, not no ego statement. I mean this with all my heart and good intentions.
I do not stand in support of domestic violence, by no means. But people make mistakes, and the thing is that the charges were dropped, but the thing that is getting to me is that T.O. has done 13 years of great work in the state of Illinois. And I don't want regular people to hear his name and associate that the one bad thing that has happened in recent years. They should remember T.O. from the relentless, tireless hours that he worked trying to get funding for the betterment of the communities of Chicago.
The T.O. Hardaman campaign is the people's campaign.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And this is what we must understand. This is the people's campaign, not T.O. Hardaman.
My man.
He is the man that we think best represent and embody and have experienced the common problems that we can't seem to shake from our households. We need a voice that speaks to that, and not someone who give us the same tired political rhetoric, campaign after campaign after campaign.
That's right.
Who we want for governor? Who we want for governor? When we want him for governor? Now. When we want him for governor? Now. Right now.
Right. Thank you, bro. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. Yeah. Good.
When you go through so much, because we've been through a lot, you know, just dealing with our children, dealing with the jobs, dealing with health issues, dealing with so much that it brings us closer together. So the way I would describe us is we're a blessed couple that look forward to the future.
Okay. Congratulations. Okay, yeah, I appreciate it. How you doing? You all right? Good to see you, yeah. So we're going to see what happens. It's going to be amazing. Yeah, it's going to be a major undertaking, but I'm up for the challenge. That's what I'm talking about, my sister. I appreciate you, okay? I appreciate you all. You know that always, all right? And I'll be talking to you. Okay, cool. And I didn't wake up overnight to run for governor. I've been thinking about running for higher level office for years. It's just I had a couple of things in my background that I thought would bar me from running. Now all my business is out in the public. I'm running for governor.
With charges of domestic abuse dropped, the former head of Ceasefire is now in a serious bid for the office of governor of the state of Illinois. I'll be visiting with T.O. Hardaman on politics tonight and find out his plans for the state. I appreciate you coming in. And what I want to do is we're going to have a couple segments with you.
Okay.
You know, I got to ask you the questions about the personal stuff because that's what people are talking about. So we'll go through those, and then we're going to get your platform because this isn't also this isn't some show where we just some expose thing. I mean, we want to get to serious issues. My goal is to be fair, and my goal is to ask some tough questions, but to give you the fair opportunity to say what you need to say.
Right.
So.
Took that inside.
Let's start with the issues you know you have to address. You face some charges on domestic abuse. They got dropped. I know your wife Allison now supports your run for governor. But don't you expect the issues to just dog you everywhere you go in this campaign, not allowing you to get to the issues?
Yeah, I'm more than sure that issue is going to continue to come up, and I'm ready. I'm prepared for it. The charges were dropped within 30 days, and I'm moving on. My wife and I, we reconciled. We're doing pretty good these days.
The charges have been dropped. So therefore, it's irrelevant now, and we've moved on, and we hope the public can move on. And if they don't, oh well, that's up to them.
You know what you got coming in the door with me. Everybody else, like saying, I'm gonna get into knocking nobody. We're gonna keep it positive, all right? But if people began to swing at me, I may swing back a little bit. Is that all right? Yeah. Okay then, so that's where we at. So any more questions?